everyone. I hope you're having a fabulous day. We haven't done one of these videos in a while where I'm in my office here having a chat with you one-on-one, not quite one-on-one. I've mostly just been kind of vlogging, walking around, doing a lot of training footage, things like that, but you know, we gotta mix it up on the channel. So I'd actually like to do a video today talking about trigger points. And this is actually just one name for this practice or therapy. And the reason this has come to mind for me is because I've been training for a little bit now, a few years, and steady training in powerlifting and strength and conditioning. What I've noticed is the thicker and denser that a muscle gets, the harder it is to break through with standard massage or with lacrosse balls, with all sorts of different tools you can get, rumble roller, any sort of mobility work. It just gets progressively more difficult to break up dense muscle tissue. So what I'd like to discuss today is a few approaches that you can consider taking and just some general information about trigger points and trigger point therapy. And also I've been considering myself, and I've done this in the past, getting involved with an acupuncturist. So going to an actual acupuncture clinic where they basically will take little needles, and I've had this in the past done where firstly I've had the needles where they just stick them in throughout your body, throughout the various points of your body, and then I've also had ones where they put the needles in and then they actually apply a little bit of a shock to the needle. So there's this little tiny tool that's held, and it just touches the needle lightly and it sends an electric shock down into the muscle through the needle. That one was really funky when I did it. It was pretty cool. I was just like inadvertently flexing my muscle as, it's like twitching as this guy was like touching the needle. So the point of all this basically is when you have a thick, dense grouping of muscles or muscle tissue, it's very hard to just massage or lacrosse ball, I don't have one here, to get it out. So what people do is they'll go to an acupuncturist, or you can even go to an active release therapist, where they'll actually take their thumb or take their elbow or knuckle or whatever and maybe jam it into somewhere, and then they'll move you through a range of motion to get certain muscles out of the way so they can actually get in there and get to what they need to. So get to the muscle that they need to actually release the tension. Now, when you go to an acupuncturist, what they do is they'll stick the needle, and it's sort of, because it's so tiny, it goes right through to where it needs to hit. So you don't need to move your arms around. You don't need to. Thai yoga massage is another name for where someone will move you around and shift you in position while they work you with their hands and their limbs. It's kind of like a stretch when they do it that way, versus active release therapy, they just kind of jam in something and then move you through a range of motion. But now acupuncture, so they basically will just stick the needles through, and the importance of this is that it gets past a lot of the thick, dense muscle tissue. And what acupuncturists focus on is hitting points of the body which are, they're called trigger points, or they could also be referred to as meridian points on the body. Now, if I'm going to get a little woo-woo with you here, a lot of people will also refer to this as the chakral points of the body. And in Sanskrit, it's referred to as the nadis. Now, the nadis is basically points in the body where you'll have blockages. And I'm going to annotate the screen with stuff as we go through this video, as I always do. But basically, you want to try to reach those points in the body, the meridian points of the body, where you may be able to release tension, and then you'll actually have a reduction in pain in many different areas. So a lot of times if you have a pain in your shoulder, you'll be trying to work your shoulder, but maybe it's coming from somewhere else. So acupuncturists and people that are specialized in the body's meridian points, or chakra points, or trigger points, whatever you want to call it, people that are experts in this, they know exactly where on the body that they need to hit in order to release tension or pain or discomfort in other areas. So it's a very interesting practice. It's actually it's widely recognized, and it's extremely aged. So it's been around for a very, very long time in many different cultures, and there's just different names for it. So when I say woo-woo a moment ago, I just mean it's a little bit of a lofty idea to say chakra or chakra points. Chakras, bro. And basically, the reason that's become woo-woo is because it's not so much recognized by science in a lot of ways. But the funny thing is, science just takes another name for something and just a name that they're more comfortable with and applies it. So I could say the meridian points on the body, or I can say trigger points. So what I want to do in this video is show you, I'm going to put the links in the description below, a few different posters and articles and things like that talking about the body's trigger points and meridian points. And the importance of this is because I think that if you've been like me, I get pretty frustrated sometimes trying to work out. I'm like, why do I keep getting knotted in my trap? Like, I just keep getting knotted in one spot. And I may spend like a half an hour or more, maybe an hour, trying to get out the knot, and then, maybe later in the day it comes back. So the reason that happens, and the reason it happens for a lot of people, is you'll be trying to work out through dense muscle tissue, but you're not actually hitting the areas that are going to release that tension, release that pressure. And that's where the meridian points, the chakra points, the trigger points, that's where all of that comes into play. So I'd like you to take a moment, check out the links in the description below, look at some of the posters and some of the information I've provided, because next time you go about trying to release tension or tightness throughout your body, just pay very close attention to where in the body things are linked up, because it all connects together from the top of your head right down to the bottom, the soles of your feet. So you need to be very attentive on how everything is interconnected, and you need to know what parts of the body you should be working in order to release tension and discomfort. So I hope this video helps. I hope it introduces some new ideas to you, and I hope the resources in the description below are going to be helpful. And that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm really gung-ho about this rehab. I want to help you guys out. I want to help myself out. And we all got to get stronger. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you again next time.